To make Bramble the Hedgehog, you're going to need a blush 350. And we don't need to inflate this all the way. So just leave a good long tail. Oh, perhaps about, I don't know, 6-7 fingers or so. Okay. Give your 350 a squeeze. And to begin with, you want to make a loop. Okay. So a loop of perhaps about 5 to 6 fingers or so. And take that knot and nozzle and just pass it through the centre. Okay, so that's going to make sure it doesn't come undone. Next, you want to make a 4-finger bubble and then make another one to match. Okay, so make another 4-finger bubble. Bring those two together and just wrap together. Okay, so that's what you've got so far. And then with what you've got left, just take this end here, wrap it into the neck area there. Just take hold of that knot, that nozzle you've got of the 350, and just tie the ends together. That's just going to secure those in position. Next, take a 160 in mocha brown and make a small loop of a couple of fingers or so. So just twist a small loop and then again take that knot and nozzle and just pass that through the centre. Okay? Take your hedgehog's body and the little ear that you've just made and just pass that through the centre of the head. Okay? So that's what you've got at the moment. Then with what you've got left, on this Mocha 160, just pinch here and twist. And then make another small loop of a couple of fingers to match this one. Okay? And just twist that off. Okay? And then you can break the rest off and tie. And you can lose this bit of excess here just inside the head. So just poke that through to the outside and then just wrap it round that other ear. Okay? So this is what you've got at the moment. Next, I'm using a chocolate brown 350. And I only want to inflate this about halfway. And when you do that, just let a little bit of air out. Okay, make sure that this is nice and soft. So you've got a good long tail there, and then take that nozzle and just wrap that into the neck a few times. So that's nice and secure. Okay. And then first of all, we want to make a series of bubbles. So we want to start off by making a soft bubble of about 3 fingers. Okay, so about 3 fingers. And then we want to make another bubble the same size. Okay, so you've got 2 bubbles there. Then take hold of your ear and just wrap that around. So that's just going to secure those first 2 bubbles. Okay. Make another soft bubble. This time you're going to want to make it slightly larger. So maybe go 4 fingers because this is going to go over the top of the head. And then make another 4-finger bubble. Okay. Bring that over the top of the head and just wrap into the ear there. Okay, so that secures everything nicely. Okay, and then we're going to make 2 more bubbles to match these. So we're going back down to 3-finger bubbles. Nice and soft. So you've got 2 3-finger bubbles and we're going to wrap those into the neck. What you've got left, you want to make a series of soft 3-finger bubbles. Okay, so we're going to try and make 8 from what we've got left. So just hold on to the first one that you made and the last one that you made. It does get a bit tricky as we get close to doing 8, so don't worry, just hold on to everything as best you can. And if you find that you need to use another 350 chocolate brown, then do so. It is tricky trying to get the 8 bubbles, the 8 remaining bubbles out of what's left. So you can always just tie on another one if you need to. So I'm just being careful to hold on to these soft bubbles that I'm making. Okay, and when you've done 8, or however many it takes for you to get round to the other side, just wrap this into that neck junction. Okay, and then you can trim off the end and just wrap that in. Okay, so this is what you've got. Next, take an uninflated 160. Again, I'm using chocolate brown, and just wrap that tip around into that neck a few times just to secure that in position. Okay. And then bring that chocolate brown to one side. And what you're going to do, you're going to just stretch that out, and then you're just going to wrap it round one of those bubbles, okay? That just secures that. And then you're going to pass that 160 through the middle of Bramble's body and through the other side, okay? And then you come down, oh, one of my bubbles has come undone, don't worry. Then you can come down to the other side and just wrap that around the second bubble down. And that's just going to help secure these bubbles and pull them in to the side. And if you've got one where this has happened, then that's going to help just keep it as separate bubbles, okay? So we're going to now thread this back through Bramble's body, and I'm going to go down to this one here towards the bottom and just wrap that round back through, and then I'm just going to reinstate this bubble that's come undone here. Okay, and then I can take that 160, just wrap it around. I'm going to wrap that one around a couple of times as that one came undone, just for added safety and security. And then I'm going to take this 160 again back through the body and secure at the bottom. I'm going to wrap it round, and then I'm just going to tie it off in a knot. Okay. And then I can trim the rest off. So that's what you've got so far. Next, take a blush 160 with a good long tail. We're not going to use all of this, so you don't need to inflate it all the way. Take hold of your knot and nozzle, and again wrap that around the neck a couple of times just to secure it in position. And then take your 160 round to the front, and we're just going to make some little arms. So you need to decide how long you want Bramble's arms to be. I'm going to go there, so that's perhaps about 4 inches or so, and then I'm going to make another bubble to match that, and then I'm going to bring that round to the back, and then again I'm going to wrap this 160 blush into the neck. And when you've done that a couple of times, you can break off the 160 and just tie. Next, make a little bubble from either a 160 or a 260. I'm using black and I've used a 160, but you can get a very tiny bubble from a 260 as well. So just use up whatever you've got. If you've got a little tip that's just a couple of inches, that's going to be too small because you're going to need a nice long bit of uninflated section here. So take the little nose and just pass the uninflated bits through the middle of those cheeks there, and then pull that nose forward, and then just wrap that 160 round the outside, and then underneath just pass that back, and again wrap that into the neck. And that's just going to push those cheeks a little bit together, bit towards the back, and it's just going to make them look a little bit chubbier. Okay, so you can break off this. For the eyes, I'm using a brush tip brown Sharpie, and I'm just going to draw 2 crescents. I do like these brush tips because you get such nice coverage, but they do take a little bit of time to dry. Okay, next, using a black brush tip, I'm just going to draw an oval on the other side of the crescent. And then I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to draw a little eyebrow. With a fine point Sharpie, I'm just going to outline the brown part of the eye. And then for Bramble, I like to draw a little line here just to one side of the eye. I do find that the brush tips take longer to dry, so whilst I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm just going to give Bramble some nice pink cheeks, and I do that using blusher. So I have this nice palette of blushes, different blushes. I'm going to pick a pinkish one, and I'm just going to give him some pink cheeks, rosy pink cheeks. I think you get a nicer blended pink colour than if you're using a pink Sharpie. But if you're concerned about the blusher coming off on a child's clothing, then you're probably better using a pink Sharpie. So it just depends on what sort of situation you're in. And then I do 3 little dots on either side of the nose and over the pink, and then just 3 little whiskers on each side. And with an Edding 750 white paint pen, I'm just going to do the little white highlights for the eye. And there you've got Bramble the Hedgehog from my Quince Cotton Ball series of children's books. There are 3 books out at the moment, and more to come out very soon. So I hope you'll check those out. I'll leave links to them to the Amazon store in the description below, so please do check them out. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm looking forward to seeing your creations of Bramble. Please feel free to join me in Balloon Artworks Academy, which is my closed Facebook group, and it's free to join. And I'll see you again in the next video.